It's tug time, baby! On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we keep trying to fix this thing. We got a lot of work to do. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Chair Go, and like I said, today we are working on the tug. It's been a long time, and basically every single thing on this thing is ruined. Every system on here. So we are going absolutely hard fixing it all. Let's get into it. Well, after Josh rolled out and then Eric just is rolling out with the side-by-side right now, we decided to work on the tug again because it's been quite a while since I've worked on this thing. So we started by getting the floor plate off because I found out there were a lot of issues with this thing. Like, I couldn't move it at all. Obviously, we had only moved it with the forklift before because it was the only way to get it to move anywhere. Well, we did a lot of work. We started by freeing up the clutch, and the clutch was fully seized up. Now, it has a working clutch. It doesn't rebound all the way, but honestly, I think the clutch works just fine, just right in that area right there. There's a little grease zerk down there I need to hit. We cleaned up all the grease zerks on the drive shaft. It has one of those extending little drive shafts. I need to grease all of these points. The brake reservoir was nasty. I'll put some pictures of that up now, but we've got it cleaned out and we've got new brake fluid in it. Hopefully it comes back to life. But it was also seized up, and now it moves. It might not work, but it sure moves. Well, this is a new one. Started working on the old tug, and there is literally this insane buildup inside there, and it was built all the way up to the cap. This is what came out of the brake reservoir. What on earth? Look inside that thing. Well, this is gonna be fun to clean up. Then the e-brake was seized up as well, so we got that moving. Not very well, but hey, we got it freed up, and now we can push the machine forward and back, which is more than we've ever been able to do before. It's very much like a two-person push, but I mean, it weighs 4,000 pounds. It's more than a car. I'm trying to push it by myself. So it will move with two people, no problem now. The emergency brake is one of these big drum brakes with like a shoe wrapping all the way around this drum here, and we got that freed up with a few taps. The cable let us release the thing, and now it finally moves forward and back so we can shift gears. I'm gonna go ahead and dump the transmission fluid next and probably put new gear oil in that, which will help out. Here's what everybody wants to see. What's that gear oil look like? So of course the fill plug's out. Ooh! What that gear oil looks like is water. Pure water. All right, well, these fill plugs, drain plug, they're going over to the solvent tank to get cleaned up. And then it's getting refilled, of course, with Motul Gear 300, the best fluid. And we're replacing this horrible stuff with a huge upgrade. Plugs are cleaned up. Look what came out of there. Oh, it's so bad. I'm gonna have to flush it some before we put new gear oil in it too. All right, well, there's a lot of stuff to figure out on this thing. The fuel lines are trash. You just saw the clean out of the brake system. Obviously, we've still got the rear end draining down here, and of course, to do that, we had to take the entire seat panel off of this thing and the seat and just tear pretty much everything down. So now it's time to fix the ignition switch because it was trash. It would only work with a screwdriver, and even then it was kind of iffy. It would only sometimes hit. So this is one of those 5-terminal ignition switches. O'Reilly should have it in stock. Oh, look at that. It's even got a part number. Or it says it's a Polac. We're going to take a picture of this, see how it's laid out, take it apart, and then go try to buy a matching ignition switch, and hopefully we can make this all work out. So that's my plan here, and I'd like to just toss it right back together with a new one, and hopefully all the electrical stuff comes back to life. So we're jumping around here trying to get everything done at once on the tug, so it's a nice, simple, you know, done kind of deal. And obviously part of that involves getting the gas cinder out of there, which doesn't matter, but I needed to get it unhooked, which we did get unhooked, but I figured we might as well go ahead and remove it because then we can inspect the gas tank. Over here, there's a filter, so we can't just see in it. And we were getting this off, and then it's stuck. It just keeps trying to move, but not move enough on me. All the screws here are ruined, like they're full of rust, but they're backing out. We've got a bunch of knocker loose on there and a bunch of time tapping on them with a sledgehammer to get a head we can use out of it. And now, after this one's out, I think we can actually get the whole cinder out. That's out. Let's see if we can get the cinder out. Tappy tap tap. Oh, this is RTV'd in. I thought it had a gasket. Nope, somebody went crazy with the RTV. All right, so this one, obviously this screw head here is problematic. Washer's on there, but the screw's broke. Lock washer's all the way around it. Boom! Finally getting the sender out. There's so much RTV on this. Okay. What is going on with the wire to the sender? That's the real issue here. Alright, that made a big difference. I do think the tank's probably toast. But there's a float. I'd say that's probably toast too. Interesting how this worked. That wire should be all the way down in there, and it was definitely attached, and then weather started doing what it does. Take a look down inside this hole.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, we got that rust. Woo! Well, this is gonna be fun to get out. Trying to put some heat in this cap. We're gonna get it off there. Alright, like that. Keep going. We got this thing so hot. Darrell was keeping the torch on it, and I was using the big boys. And one good twist, and all the aluminum cracked. Like, it literally cracked and let go. So now, I think it's gonna come apart. We can turn it at least, although it may just be tearing up the threads. Oh, come on! I know you want to come off of there. Look at this. It's falling apart. I think maybe we could... Hey, look at that! Forget turning it.
Boom.
Dude, you couldn't even see light through this. Looks like 2 inches of rust in the bottom, at least one. I need to put this somewhere. Well, let's start with a vacuum and a hose. And then I think we're gonna pour Evaporust in it. And try to return this to service without pulling it all apart, because obviously, like, taking it all apart is gonna be a nightmare. We got good fuel filters, we got an electric fuel pump, like, we can solve this problem. So, we're gonna start cleaning this up. Yeah, we got the build your own gas tank cleaning system. A bunch of conduit. And it's just electrical taped onto the adapter. And it works. Like, you can hear we're just pulling tons of rust. So I'm super excited about this. We're gonna get all the rust out, and then we're gonna switch to the Evaporust.
I did record.
Yeah, that looks amazing. Well, I have 2 bottles of Evaporust left, and this gas tank is full of rust. So let's Evaporust. Hopefully the valve works. That's really what we're worried about here. I'm gonna get my shoe out of here. Yeah, let me know if it starts leaking. And we're pouring. It is all the way closed, from what I can tell.
Solid.
Will it evap? Oh, rust. It says drain, fill with water, air dry, and fill with gasoline. But you're supposed to completely fill it, and obviously this is the end of the Evaporust in this city, because 100% Jake's looking for it, so we know there's no more. This is as good as we're gonna get. I think we're just gonna have to swish it around in there. And the sides are pretty good. It's really the bottom that's the problem. So hopefully we can evapo and do a little swishing around, and it's not leaking. So the valve's still okay, which is awesome. And then we have to figure out how to get a cinder, or cover the hole, and figure out how to get a new gas cap, because the old gas cap no longer exists. Our custom vacuum attachment worked out really well. This is the sauce right here. It let us get down in there, and of course it's conduit that was probably going to be trashed anyway because it's too short. So I got to just tear it up, grinding the rust out of there. Worked great. All right, we're here to get this ignition switch. and some brake fluid. We returned some Corvette parts we didn't need. We got a gigantic thing of brake fluid with a hose so we can fill that thing. And our ignition switch is on the way, UM41, but it was a DC only thing, so it'll be here Thursday. It's coming.
See you Thursday.
All right, man, later. Thank you. The gas tank, as you guys saw, was looking pretty incredible inside. Do not smell this stuff. It is a horrific smell. Now, I can't exactly see what's going on. I don't know if you can. You can probably see a little bit there. It's definitely evaporating. So that's making progress. It's got to sit for, what, 4 hours or something like that on a gas tank, and then we'll try to swish it around and hope we get everything out, drain it. I mean, it's been in there for close to an hour already. We've got the diff full, or the gearbox full, not the diff. I haven't checked the diff at all. I'm just going to assume that it's probably in much better condition than the gearbox. The gearbox was probably taking on water through here. Obviously, this isn't like a great seal here, this rubber seal that's supposed to protect the top of this. So it was probably just getting rainwater just dumped in it. The gearbox is sealed pretty well, and also this is the craziest gearbox ever, isn't it? Look how monstrous that thing is. It has this like a sliding drive shaft. Everything's greasable, so we need to grease all the U-joints and the drive shaft. It has a drop box, which is crazy. I'm sure that's like a giant chain drive inside. E-brake, we've got that working now, much better than it ever did before. When I got it, it was fully seized up, but now we've gotten it to where it almost reliably, it takes a little bit of time still, but it does release. The spring's probably a little weak there, but e-brake working is a huge step. That's why it never moved at all originally. And we can shift gears now. Having it full of brand new 80/90 has been pretty amazing. There's reverse, so third, fourth, first is, it's way over there. Once it's running, obviously that'll be much, much easier. Clutch works, we got that done yesterday or the day before, and there is a clutch switch, and I think that interrupts the starter circuit. So now it would never crank, and the clutch pedal wouldn't move. None of the pedals would move at all previously. So after we soaked all those in oil, we got the clutch running and the brake running, and it's building brake pressure, it seems. We filled it with our O'Reilly's .3 over there, and we need to probably drain it one more time. We're still getting trash out of the brake system. You saw how terrible that was. And we'll suck it out of there one more time with the Mighty Vac, fill it again, and then bleed the brakes, and hopefully we've got some hydraulic brakes. That'll be a huge deal. And it still needs a fuel pump and some fuel line. As far as a sender, I got nothing. I might actually have to call Pettibone to get a sender. For now, we'll probably just put something over it to seal that hole, because we don't want water, moisture rolling in there, but we do want to seal up the gas tank. So something's gonna go over here for now. Hopefully it's a sender. We might just go to O'Reilly's, see what they've got. They probably have something close to it. And then we have to get all this aluminum that's stuck in these threads out of here. And that's obviously gonna be a chore. Oh yeah, it is stuck in the threads. Let's get our little tap tap tappy. Oh, this stuff is in there. Dissimilar metals, they probably seize together. Probably needs grease or something to kind of create a little layer that protects it next time. So we'll get those threads chased, and we'll find a gas cap somehow, and we're making progress. This thing's close. This is about our third or fourth round of cleaning the nasty old brake fluid out of this reservoir, and it is nasty every single time, but this is about the best it's looked. And after this, we're gonna fill it and bleed the thing. Look how bad that is. Yep, just finished bleeding the brakes, and we've got brakes. Check out this pedal now. Oh yeah, we finally have pedal. Before it would just go to the floor, obviously, you can't figure out parts for this. Like, there's no just looking up the parts. All you can do is call Pettibone, whatever their new name is, or Mercury, or it's a totally different name now, but it still has one of those words in it. And they bought the company and they still make these, and now they're super modern. They've got like a Ford Focus engine, automatic transmission, super, super nice. But the chassis is all the same. Like, this is just like the brand new ones, which is kind of cool. So I'm sure they have an idea of what the parts are, but I can't easily get the parts, and we don't want to be waiting days and days and days to try to get parts every time. So we're just making it work, and I figured if we flushed that master cylinder enough, it would come back to life, and it did. And we got tons and tons of trash I mean, you can see how black the brake fluid is that was coming out of our bleeder nipples there. And we just kept bleeding it. And finally, it looks like it works. And we were getting good pressure coming out of the bleeders. So I think we've got back brakes. We've got a transmission. The differential is, I'm sure, good. I don't see any reason we'd have an issue with that. And now we're back to our very smelly gas tank and getting an ignition on there and a battery so we can finally see everything come to life. I'm pretty pumped. I know the reverse beeper works, and I think the strobe light works, and I'm sure the lights themselves work if we can get a new light switch. That's bad too. And oil pressure gauge is trash. I should just break all the glass out of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I don't know where the needle is. Oh, nope, I don't even see it. Yeah, that is it. That is it. All right, we got the gauge face knocked out of there, and it looks like the needle is trying to hang out on 0, and it might move, but I think it's toast. That gauge is probably fully finished off. Just 2 bolts hold it in, and like I said, it's a mechanical oil pressure gauge, so O'Reilly's actually should have that bad boy in stock. Looks like it's already one of those. AC Delco, all of this stuff, except for this one that's been replaced. There's a lot of AC Delco on this thing. Kind of cool. Whoa. I think I breathed in some of the Evaporust. It's rough. It's hard out here. Anyway, this thing is looking way, way better. That's a lot of a restoration in one day. And soon, we'll have it running again. We just need to get it some fuel supply and probably... Oh, no, we know the carburetor works. I was like, man, we got to do the carburetor. But honestly, I was feeding fuel directly into it, into the float bowl, and it was running. So we do have a lot more stuff to replace. All the fuel lines need replaced, but it's gonna run. A lot of progress in one day. Parking brake, brakes, transmission, fuel tank, cages cleaned up. I don't know, we've been working on this for a long time. And she's a lot closer, so. Oh, ignition switch, yeah, mostly there.
Did you say e-brake?
Yes, yeah, e-brake for sure. The e-brake took a long time. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchgrgo.com, where we should probably make like a t-shirt that says like, I have an airport tug or something. I don't know why. What are you doing with an airport tug? But this is an 86 Honda, how dare you. And please, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. The strobe light is the only goal in reality. That's all I want. I want my little flashing orange strobe light. I want my headlights. It doesn't even need to run. I just want the flashing light.
Blink, blink.
Yep, and as soon as we have an ignition switch, the reverse beeper works too. Because I've heard it come on. It'll take a while to get that switch freed up. Oh, we got a clutch. A clutch was the other thing. Clutch works, gas pedal works. Everything works. Look at this, it's got fire protection, just like Naveed's car. Got a little fire extinguisher holder in there. I better get a fire extinguisher for it. I don't think it's gonna happen, but race cars get fire extinguishers. Think of the donuts we're gonna do with this thing when it's running. I mean, it won't do donuts, obviously, because it weighs like 4,000 pounds. But think of the anyway, all these stickers, if you're wondering what they are, these came from Jim McGill when he was here with that Honda N1. And I think there are other like automotive YouTubers and stuff like that. And it has like, it's a sticker of their car. It's pretty cool. So there you go. I don't know who made them. He told me who made them, but I don't actually know.